And these lights are like really bright. And I actually wanted to read one chapter of my book. I don't even know if anyone's going to be online. And someone always pops on, but good developer. Oh my goodness. It's hard to like do live stream without the little phone holder because I'm not at home. Hello. So I have to hold my phone, which is a bit annoying, but oh, hi Jay. Hello. I was online before and then my battery went flat, so I'm now trying to use my old phone. Hello, 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 Joe Hanson. Just annoying having to use the phone without my usual, what do you call it, the little phone stand, but it's a bit of a pain. Well, it's, what's the time? It is 1:30 p.m. here in Australia, and so not quite dinner time yet. Yeah, so it's, I was online before, having a whinge about everything, and where are you all from? Obviously, when you do live stream, there's people from so many different places. But oh, right. There's always a lot of people on live stream that are from India. Cool. Why do people say this? I'm okay. Not sure what that means. But yeah, I'm having to use my old Oppos for some reason. Because my battery went dead on my iPhone and then I'm trying to charge it, it won't turn back on. So I've got to use. The only reason I have two phones is because when you keep an old phone to keep all your old messages and contacts, it's a little bit wrecked anyway because my screen's all like cracked at the bottom. But I can use YouTube on here, so hello, Lindsay. But I wanted to read one more chapter because sometimes I'm actually reading like, I don't know, if you're like people haven't, a lot of you haven't been on my channel before, I just sometimes read. I've been doing some reading, so morning there. Hello. Yeah, it's 1:30. Yeah, about 1:30 p.m. here, Monday. And it's very rainy here, and I'm just trying to get my phone to charge, which is not charging. It's not turning on for some reason. Something about iPhones apparently. If you let the battery completely die and then you go to charge it, it can sometimes take a while to actually turn back on. So it's really a bit annoying. Technology, it's such a pain. Please show you what? What do I do? Well, I was working in support work for about 7 months, but hello, Jack. But that didn't quite work out. I had like basically major, what do you call it, burnout from doing that. It's really not the right job for everyone. So now I'm looking for work, which has been extremely challenging in Australia. Yeah. So, my phone, I haven't really had it for too long. I probably had it for maybe a couple of months now, maybe. Hasn't been too long. But this hasn't happened before. Normally I don't let it go completely flat. Normally I manage to charge it. But I don't know, I read up that apparently with iPhones, like the iPhone 17, if you the battery fully die. If you go to charge it, it might take even up to like a couple of hours for it to actually even show that it's charging, so it's a bit annoying. Oh, thank you, thank you. I've had mixed reviews about my hair, as you can see. It's a bit of a mess, but can get very messy. That's a nice question, Andre. Something that makes me happy. Being able to do things I want to do. Does that make sense? Paulie, you're here. My phone won't turn back on. So that's why I couldn't let you know, like, hey, I'm going on live. If you're not busy. Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to modernize my hair so I'm not constantly told I've got 80s hair. But, you know, maybe that's okay. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. Hello, son. Yeah, what's happening, Paulie? My phone went flat earlier, obviously, and it won't turn back on. Even though I'm charging it, it's like the screen is completely black. It's like it died. Like it actually died. I don't know. Get a bob cut. Sure, Christaki. I don't know if that would suit me. It would suit a little bit shorter, but I should have got the hairdresser to cut more off. So I'll just, I don't know. It's okay. Oh, Janelle, hello. I haven't heard from you for a while. I'm sure you've been quite busy with your podcasts. Since you can't convince me to do a podcast, but it's because I don't know what you're going to ask me. You're going to start asking me stuff, and I don't know. You're going to put me on the spot. Leave-in conditioner. Oh, yeah, that would help. Yeah, I just didn't have time this morning. I had to like... give up a mystery. Not really. It's just that I have to wear glasses to read. There's no way in the world I would waste my time wearing glasses if I didn't have to, but I do. My hair's just like a bit scruff, but hey, you can't have all perfectly non-frizzy hair, I suppose. Hey, Justin Powers. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks, Janelle. Thanks. Is it Janelle? Janelle? Did I say it wrong? Because Janelle's a woman's name. Like the Australian, I don't know, English Janelle. Is it Janil? If I've said it wrong, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm again. Oh, I'm going okay, Robbie. How are you? I don't, Justin, to be honest, with my hair, I just use whatever I have. Like, I can use one brand and then it changes. Like, I don't use one specific brand. I try and find what's on special because they try charge here like sometimes like $20 or more for one bottle of shampoo or conditioner. If you want like a decent quality brand. So I just go with the specials, to be honest. J Neil. J Neil? J Neil? Okay. J Neil. Your friend? No. Well, I got to go to a hairdresser because I hadn't been to the hairdresser for 2 years. I cut it myself because I watched a YouTube video, Christaki, which is was not a wise thing to do because it gave this horrible. I don't know. I had two different lengths that were very obvious, but I mean, she just said not to cut too much off, and to be honest, I think I'd probably suit a bit shorter, like with my face shape. You know, like that length, see? It's like more bob cut, like someone was saying. Probably suit better, but I'll get around to it. Hello, Neha. Hello. What? Okay, I don't know. Yes, please do. I was gonna read, it doesn't feel very silky, Jay. Feels like, it's just like fluffy and I don't know what you call this. Fluffy, wuffy, whatever it is. But I wanted to do a reading of my chapter, Paulie. like one chapter, because I think I've got about 1 hour. About 1 hour to spare, and I'm hoping my phone will actually turn back on. It's so annoying. And oh yeah, I guess I could use that because I don't have my phone holder. And I'm using my Oppo right now, so it looks a lot different. Does that make sense? Maybe. Well, thank you. C'est for the compliment. I'm gonna have to hold that in there and hope that that holds up. It's not really. It's such a nuisance. Hold on. Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Yes, Johansson, it's been raining. It's raining right now. I gave one of my kids my favorite umbrellas, and I'm like, please don't lose my umbrella. That's my good umbrella, my last good umbrella, which was getting quite old. It was a good golf umbrella. I left it on the train. I was so annoyed. Because if you want to get a proper umbrella that doesn't fall apart after 2 weeks, you have to spend at least potentially between $30, $50, $60 to get a really good quality umbrella, like golf umbrella that you know you're going to use all the time. You know what I mean? Because if you start thinking, oh, I shouldn't spend that much, and you go buy a cheap umbrella from Kohl's or Best and Less, they fall apart. The wind breaks them. The sound is a little slow, is it? Oh, okay. No. Oh, hello, Dee. My battery died before, so yeah. So now I'm on my old Oppo phone. Some trolls are funny, some trolls are strange. Oh my god. I have sun in my bag. Does that mean... So where did you say you are again, Dee? Did you say you're in the UK? Yeah, I know. Stinking batteries. But you know, it happens. I've not been organised enough to get around to getting the whole power bank and all that stuff. From Bunnies? You mean Bunnings? Oh, you can't hear me. Is that any better? Oh, there we go. Is that better? Is that better? Oh my god. Oh no, internal. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Johansson, that's not good. Was it loud? Because sometimes they say like they're transformers or something. They can give off a massive bang. And I've seen it happen before, and there was like sparks flying, like on the big telephone pole, like right up the top. And someone's like, oh yeah, that's a transformer. Sometimes they explode. Oh, I can't speak louder, Jay, or I'd be yelling. You're gonna have to find an extremely quiet place to listen in. Yeah, I mean, you can buy a lot of stuff from Bunnings. I enjoy walking through Bunnings. I rarely ever go there. But yeah, Bunnings is a fun place to go and look at stuff. Preferably buy stuff. But oh, hello, Relief. Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet, and you too. Hello, Scott. Oh wow. Oh, you're a Native American. Oh really? And Waro? Do you have like a, you know, they say with Native Americans they have like a spirit animal, like an animal that you relate to in a sense. Do you have one? Yeah, it could be a network, Jay. Who knows? Uh-oh. I don't know. I can't say that username. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I'm back on my Oppo, so I feel like it's not what you would say the most flattering camera, because it tends to accentuate, like, you know, your facial features that you don't want it to accentuate, but whatever. Hey Polly, what's the time where you are again? It is... Wait. No, wait. If it's... Let me think about this, hold on. It's like 8 in the morning, nearly. I don't know. Paulie, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. You always ask me that, and I don't know. Unless you have a favorite comment. I'd rather you tell me your favorite comment. I'm sorry. Hello. Anything. Anything. Oh, hello. I that wait, what? Oh, sorry, 8:36 p.m. of course. Why am I thinking a.m.? Okay, I'm not good at sometimes trying to like convert and get. Okay, that's right. You're ahead of me in the p.m. Yeah. I get it. Okay. Oh, nice. It's a good time of night, Paulie, isn't it? Yeah. So I really wanted to like read. Should I read? If I read one chapter, oh, interesting. I think if I would wanted to relate to any type of animal, it would be a bird. Like a bird that is free because birds don't need passports. Birds don't need to pay rent. They live in trees. They get around, especially the happy birds, not the ones that waddle around doing weird stuff, but like cockatoos are so funny and cute and adorable. And a few others, rainbow lorikeets. But I think I'd prefer to be a cockatoo over a rainbow lorikeet if I could be a bird. Oh, Paulie, I try to do that, but sometimes maybe there's a few different comments I might like just people saying nice things and just generally being nice people, having nice positive things to say. But uh, well, I don't feel like thinking right now. But thanks for trying to make me remember things. I can. Why? Oh, hello, Will. What is your interesting topics? What do you mean by that, Sharma? I don't know if I should read a chapter or not. Chicken, no, I don't want to be a chicken. Some people demand that I must have some special niche topic on the live stream, otherwise it's not a valid channel. Is that it? Well, anyway, I did want to read my chapter. Should I, Paulie, or I don't know. Maybe it's better to do it at night. Because I don't have my phone holder. I've literally got to hold my phone with my hand because I'm not at home. That's not, I believe, Sham, that's not quite a black, there's no really a black or white answer for that. What do you think? Money is important or happiness? Well, actually, both are important because clearly the systems that we are forced to participate and live in, Sharma, you need money. You need money to pay rent. You need money to pay the bills. You need money to be able to buy clothes, to do activities, buy yourself food, even possibly enjoy a few activities. Without money, you don't really get to fully enjoy life the way you should be able to. So they both go hand in hand, to be honest, money and happiness. No, you can't choose one with that because tell me how most people are without money. Where are they? Living on the street, suffering. So to try and realistically assume that someone with no money at all could be happy is really unfair to think that someone could be. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm just saying, based on being a human being and trying to live in a system like this. Hmm. Yeah, I prop my phone, but I don't have anything to prop it on because I'm trying to charge it. But I mean, it's an interesting topic. I think to sometimes society tries to guilt people into feeling bad about desiring money, but considering you need it, you need things, you need money to buy the things that you need, you know, like it's complex. There's no really a black and white answer for that. Yeah, we're forced to live in a system that's designed around you needing money then to get the things you need. It really depends on your financial level. Like, if you're struggling financially, it's hard to be fully happy because you're constantly stressed out, worrying about how to pay the bills every week. So yeah, you need money to be happy. I mean, to take away the stress, you know what I mean? Like to take away that burden of the constant worry of paying bills. Do you get what I'm saying? But obviously, happiness itself does not fully lie within money itself. It's just that it comes down to so many things. Come on, don't get me talking about this. Optimus. Hello, Optimus. I don't know, Shama. Good question. I don't know what it's like to have a lot of money because I'm not working. And I've been looking for work and struggling to get a job, so I don't know. I don't know many people. I don't know people with a lot of money. And I don't know, the people I am aware of that are in a better financial situation than me, the ones that are traveling, enjoying their lives, they seem pretty happy traveling, going out every weekend. They can afford to buy the things that they need or want. You know what I mean? Like they got to work hard. They've got a stable job. I think it depends. If you put all your happiness into money, obviously you're not going to be happy. It's all about a balance. Oh, hello, Christian. I was going to read. Oh, hello, Slow to Speak. How are you? I haven't seen you for a while, but I know everyone's not on live stream all the time. You know, I wouldn't be either, usually. Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's very rainy here. Where are you from, Slow to Speak? I'm trying to remember, because sometimes if people aren't on here too often, I forget. But yeah, I hope you're doing really well. It's just, I'm trying to charge my phone, and I was like gonna... Oh, Texas, radio. A lot of people are from Texas that jump on a live stream. Texas, India, where else? A few different places. Uh-huh. What's that, Sharma? If you have to leave everything off. Because things are important while you're alive. That's why. Because we're in a physical world, so we're dealing with physical things that we need, and physical things need replacement. They wear and tear, you know. So you need money, you know. You need money to replace things. Like if you're driving your car, you need your car for work and to be able to drive your family around, right? Your tires go bald, you need new tires. You got to replace them. You need money for that. You need money for practical reasons, obviously. What's that? Oh, okay. I don't know. Should I read it? Okay, I'm just going to read one chapter and then I'll go because I promised my son I'd pick him up from school because it's pouring down rain and you know. Oh, hello. Hello, John. How are you? I'm just going to do some reading. I hope you're doing well. Where was I? Yeah. But I'm on my Oppo, so I don't know if lenses, different cameras make a difference with like quality and like how you look, but I don't know. I've given up on trying to look perfect on video because it's not going to happen. And I've not bothered to set up my ring light. Um, yeah, about 40. Yeah, you're right, about 45, about 45. Interesting. Okay, cool. See what I mean? I can't really I can try. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. If I can do that, just because my phone. I don't even know if my phone is going to end up working for me. Hmm. What to do. Okay, let me think about this. Oh, okay, no, I've got that pillow. I can use that. Oh, it's such a nuisance. Do you see how hard it is to do things without the right things that you need in life? And someone wants to tell me that money doesn't matter. No, but it's only because actually I do have a phone holder. It's just that I'm not at home, so I didn't bring it with me because I wasn't really planning. Anywho, I'm trying to stop whinging. I'll just, there we go. That's okay. Yeah, it's just not the best angle. What's on the oh yes, yeah. Okay, yeah, just a pillow. Yeah. So this, I just actually quickly got to go to the toilet, but look, I'm not that greedy, Sharma. I don't even know where to bring up the money topic. It just takes a lot of relief. For me, it's about relief. Money is not about trying to. Look, I don't even know. Everyone's situations are so different. I don't want to talk about that because. Okay, hold on a sec. But I'm just going to leave my bookie book there. And you can have a. I just really got to go to the toilet. Okay. You can't see my book. Do I have any special thing to put my stuff on? Like a shelf? See that? Okay, just give me a minute. Okay. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, is everyone still there? Yeah, I know. We all know money. Look, it's not even about. I don't want to talk about money because it's stressing me out right now already anyway, so. Remind me. Okay, so. Maybe I'll just pop that there. Maybe. The charge cord is so short. It's such a nuisance. Okay. Okay, that will have to do. And I feel like. Yeah. Being human being. Why? If Eve didn't eat the apple from the stupid serpent, we'd still be in paradise. We wouldn't have to be like toughen it out. Alright. Okay. But that's the thing, Sharma. If you don't have to worry about money, you can actually enjoy your life. Do you get what I'm saying? Tell me how you're supposed to be fully happy when you're constantly stressed out about how you're going to pay bills every week. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's easier to say that, but it's also money can make you unhappy, the lack of it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the stress. And I know that from experience. It can be stressful. Like you go out there, see all the people suffering in poverty, and you can't say to them, oh, no, money doesn't make you happy, while they're possibly miserable because they don't know how they're going to feed their children every week. How they're going to feed their children because they need money. Do you get what I'm saying? And how you could put a smile on a child's face because they get to have a good meal. Like it is about money. And it shouldn't be. It should not be about money. But it is, you know? And it's like frustrating, but... Okay, anyway. I'm just gonna find my... Oh no. Is that still working? I've gotta find my glasses. Hold on. Hold on a sec. I'm just gotta find... Oh, okay, my reading glasses. Yeah, that's right. I'm sitting on them. Oh my gosh. I'm sitting on my glasses. That's not clever. Oh my gosh. I don't want... Can we not talk about that anymore, please? I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, it'll come if you work. And you need someone to give you a job, right? You don't get to just go out and choose a job. You have to have someone willing to give you a job. Do you get me? So I hate to say it, to a certain degree, money is very, very important to have quality of life. And quality of life can make people very happy. I don't, a lot of children out there suffering because they're living in poverty, and money would fix that. Exactly, Sharma. Stop distracting me. Okay, thanks, Robbie. Yeah, story time. Okay, well, one of my other lives, look, you can always buy this book, but if just for the fun of it, you just want to listen in because you're bored like me, it's all good. Haha. Anyway, one of my previous lives, I'll try and make the effort to make sure I put a note on my live to say chapter this for this book, so it's that one. See, I do actually enjoy reading out loud sometimes, and even better if you have someone that can be bothered listening to you. Even if you've got to sign off, it's all good. What? 31 months left? What are you talking about? Minutes. Okay. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so it's this... There's trucks around here. So, it's back to front, but it's growing up. If you can manage to make... Let's read that. Growing up with animals. Sorry, I know the letters are back to front. Oh, hello, Naveen. Okay, let me just read. Please, let me read. Don't distract me, because I will get distracted every second. Oh my gosh. If this chapter is way too long, it's going to be very annoying. Let me just see how many pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh my gosh, 8, 9, 10, 11, oh no, 12, 13, 14, 15, oh gosh. Okay, could I read this in 30 minutes? Probably not. Anyway, I'm just going to start reading, okay? Oh, lucky you. Wish I could. That's great. That's great. Hello, Travis. Hello. Yes, I'm going to read chapter 2, Growing Up with Animals, okay? And anyway, so. Hey, we're going to see like a rainbow color there. I'm seeing things? It must be the camera. Can you see that line up there? What on earth? I think it's my phone. Okay. So, Desert Flower, Warrasteri, Chapter 2, Growing Up with Animals. Okay, so before I ran away from home, my life had been built around nature, family, and our strong bond with the animals that kept us alive. Stretching back to my earliest days, I shared a common trait with children the world over, my love of animals. In fact, my earliest memory is of my pet goat, Billy. Billy was my special treasure, my everything, and maybe I loved him most because he was a baby like me. I used to sneak him all the food I could find until he was the plumpest, happiest little goat in the herd. My mother constantly questioned, "Why is this goat so fat when all the rest are so skinny?" I took perfect care of him, grooming him, petting him, talking to him for hours. My relationship with Billy was representative of our lives in Somalia. My family's fate intertwined with that of the herds we tended daily. Dependence on the animals created our great respect for them, and those feelings were present in everything we did. All the children in my family tended our animals, a task we began helping with as soon as we were able to walk. We grew up with the animals, prospered when they prospered, suffered when they suffered, died when they died. We raised cattle, sheep, and goats, but while I dearly loved my little Billy, there was no doubt that our camels were the most important animals we owned. The camel is legendary in Somalia. Somalia boasts more camels than any other country in the world. There are more camels in Somalia than people. In my country, we have a long tradition of oral poetry, and much of it is devoted to passing along the lessons of camel from one generation to the next, telling of its essential value to our culture. I remember my mother used to sing us a song which basically said, "My camel has gone away to the bad man who will either kill it or steal it from me, so I'm begging, I'm praying, please bring back my camel." From the time I was a baby, I knew of the great importance of these animals because they are absolutely gold in our society. You simply cannot live in the desert without them. As one Somali poet put it, a she-camel is a mother to him who owns it, whereas a he-camel is the artery onto which hangs life itself. And it's true, a man's life is measured by camels, with 100 camels being the price for a man who has been killed. 100 camels must be paid by the killer's clan to the surviving family of the victim, or the dead man's clan will attack the killer in retribution. The traditional price for a bride is paid in camels. But on a daily level, the camels kept us alive. No other domestic animal is so well suited for life in the desert. The camel wants to drink once a week, but can go as long as a month without water. In the meantime, however, the female camel gives milk to nourish us and quench our thirst, an enormous asset when you're far from water. Even in the hottest temperatures, camels retain liquid and survive. They graze on the scrubby bushes found in our arid landscape, leaving the grasses for the other livestock. We raise them to carry us across the desert, haul our meager belongings, and pay our debts. In other countries, you might hop in your car and go, but our only transportation other than walking was our camels. The animal's personality is very similar to that of a horse. A camel develop a close relationship to will develop a close relationship with his master and do things for him that he wouldn't do for anybody else. Men will break men break the young camels, a dangerous practice, and train them to be ridden and follow a lead. It's important to be firm with them because otherwise, when they sense a weak rider, they'll buck him off or kick him. Like most Somalis, we lived the pastoral lifestyle of herdsmen. Even though we struggled constantly for survival, our large herds of camels, cattle, sheep, and goats marked us as wealthy by the standards in my country. Following tradition, my brothers usually tended the large animals, the cattle and camels, and the girls watched over the smaller ones. As nomads, we traveled constantly, never staying in one place for more than 3 or 4 weeks. This constant movement was driven by the need to care for our animals. We were seeking food and water to keep them alive, and in the dry Somalian climate, these necessities were seldom easy to find. Our home was a hut woven from grass. Being portable, it served the same purpose as a tent. We built a framework from sticks, then my mother wove grass mats that we load over the bent twigs to form a dome above 6 feet in diameter. When it came time to move on, we dismantled the hut and tied the sticks and mats along with our few possessions to the backs of our camels. They are incredibly strong animals, and the babies and small children would ride on top, when the rest of us walked alongside, herding the animals to our next home. When we found a spot with water and foliage for grazing, we'd set up our camp again. Hello. Okay, so next page. Oh my gosh. The hut provided shelter for the babies, shade from the midday sun, and storage space for fresh milk. At night, the rest of us slept outside under the stars, with the children cuddled together on a mat. After the sun went down, the desert was cold, and we didn't have enough blankets for each child to have his own. And since we had very little clothing, we used the heat from our bodies to keep us warm. My father slept off to one side as our guardian, the protector of the family. In the morning, we got up with the sun. Our first chore was to head out to the pens where we kept the herds and milked them. Wherever we went, we cut saplings to make pens for the animals, to keep them from straying at night. The baby animals were kept in a pen separate from the mothers so they wouldn't take all the milk. One of my tasks was to milk the cows, taking some of the fresh milk to make butter, but leaving enough for the calves. After the milking, we'd let the babies come in and nurse. Then we had our breakfast of camel's milk, which is more nutritious than other animals' milk as it contains vitamin C. Our region was very hot without enough water to grow crops, so we had no vegetables or bread. Sometimes we followed warthogs, large wild African pigs, tracking them to plants. They sniffed out edible roots, digging down with their hooves and snouts to feast on them. Our family shared in their bounty by taking some home to add to our diet. We looked at slaughtering animals for meat as wasteful and only resorted to this in case of emergency or for special occasions such as a wedding. Our animals were too valuable for us to kill and eat, and as we raised them for their milk and to trade for other goods we needed. For everyday sustenance, we had only camel's milk for breakfast and again in the evening for supper. Sometimes there wasn't enough for everybody, so we fed the smallest children first, then the older ones, and so on. My mother never took a bite of food until everyone else had eaten. In fact, I don't remember ever seeing my mother eat. although I realized she must have. But if we didn't have anything for supper at night, it was no big deal, nothing to panic about. No need to cry or complain. The little babies might cry, but the older children knew the rules. So we just went to sleep. We tried to remain cheerful, kept calm and quiet, and tomorrow, God willing, we'd find a way, inshallah, which means it will happen if God is willing, was our philosophy. We knew our lives were dependent on the forces of nature, and God controlled those forces, not us. A big treat for us, as people in other parts of the world might regard a holiday feast, was when my father brought home a snack of rice. Then we'd use the butter we made by shaking cow's milk in a basket that my mother had woven. Occasionally, we'd trade a goat for corn grown in the wetter regions of Somalia, and grind the corn into meal and make porridge or pop it in a pan over the fire. Or when other families were around, we always shared whatever we had. If one of us had some food, dates or roots, or maybe killed an animal for meat, we'd cook it and divide the meal among us. We shared our good fortune because even though we were isolated most of the time, traveling with one or two other families, we were still part of a larger community. On the practical side, since there were no refrigerators, meat or anything fresh needed to be consumed right away. Each morning after breakfast, it was time to take the animals from their pen. By the age of 6, I was responsible for taking herds of about 60 or 70 sheep and goats into the desert to graze. I got my long stick and headed off alone with my herd, singing my little song to guide them. If one strayed from the group, I used my staff to guide it back. They were eager to go, because they realized coming out of the pen meant that it was time to eat. Getting an early head start was important to find the best spot with fresh water and lots of grass. Hello. Okay. Each day I quickly searched for water in order to beat the other herders. Otherwise, their animals would drink whatever little there was. In any case, the sun grew hotter, the ground became so thirsty that it would suck it all up. I made sure the animals drank as much water as they could, because it might be another week before we found more, or 2 or 3, who knows. Sometimes during the drought, the saddest thing was to watch all animals die. We traveled further and further each day looking for water. The herd tried to make it, but eventually they couldn't go anymore. When they collapsed, you had the most helpless feeling in the world, because you knew that was the end and there was nothing you could do. No one owns the grazing land in Somalia, so it was up to me to be cunning and to discover areas with lots of plants for my goats and sheep. My survival instincts were honed to look for signs of rain, and I scanned the sky for clouds. My other senses also came into play because a particular smell or a certain feeling in the air predicted rain. While the animals grazed, I watched for predators, which are everywhere in Africa. The hyenas would sneak up and snatch a lamb or kid that had wandered off from the herd. There were lions to worry about and wild dogs. They all traveled in packs, but there was only one of me. Hello. Watching the sky, I carefully calculated how I had to travel to return home before night fell. But many times I miscalculated, and that's when trouble began. As I was stumbling along in the dark trying to get home, the hyenas would attack. Because they knew I couldn't see them, I'd swat one here and another would sneak up behind me. As I chased that one away, another would run up while I wasn't looking. The hyenas are the worst because they are relentless. They never quit until they get something. When I got home each evening and put the animals in the pen, I counted several times to see if any were missing. One night, I returned home with my herd, and as I counted my goats, I noticed I was one short. I counted again and suddenly, sorry, I counted again and again. Suddenly, I realized I hadn't seen Billy and hurried through the goats, checking for him. I ran to my mother, screaming, "Mama, Billy's missing. What should I do?" But of course, it was too late. She simply stroked my head as I cried when I realized that the hyenas had eaten my fat little pet. That's sad. Yeah, hi Ringo, hi Myers, if you're still there. No, reading gets a bit boring sometimes, so, I'm sorry. Oh, hello, Petra? Pet. Okay, I'll continue reading. Oh, that's sad. They ate her little fat pet goat, Billy. Anyway, whatever else happened to us, the responsibility of taking care of our livestock went on and was always our first priority, even in times of drought, sickness, or war. Somalia's constant political turmoil caused enormous problems in the cities, but we were so isolated that for the most part no one bothered us. Then, when I was about 9 years old, a large army came and camped close by. We'd heard stories about soldiers raping girls they caught out alone, and I knew a girl this had happened to. It didn't matter if they were the Somalian army or the Martian army. They were not part of our people. They were not nomads, and we avoided them at all costs. One morning, my father had given me the chore of watering the camels. So I headed off with the herd. Evidently, during the night, the army had arrived and now sat encamped all around the road, their tents and trucks stretching as far as I could see. I hid behind a tree and watched them milling about in their uniforms. I was frightened, remembering the other girl's story. Certainly, I had no one around to protect me. So the men were free to do whatever they pleased. At first sight, I hated them. I hated their uniforms, I hated their trucks, I hated their guns. I didn't even know what they were doing. For all I knew, they could have been saving Somalia, but I didn't want any part of them all the same. Yet my camels needed water. The only route I knew that would avoid the army camp was too long and circuitous for me to travel with my herd. So I decided to turn the camels loose and let them walk through the camp without me. They marched right through the middle of the soldiers, making straight for the water, as I had hoped they would. I scurried around the camp, ducking behind bushes and trees, until I joined the camels on the other side at the watering hole. What's that, Ringo? Hello. Then, as the sky grew dark, we repeated the procedure and headed home safely. Each evening when I returned home at sunset, hi Wayne, how are you? Just reading. Each evening when I returned home at sunset and secured my herd back in the pen, it was time to start the milking again. Around the camels' necks we hung wooden bells. The sound of these bells is indeed music to the nomad, who listens to their hollow clunk at twilight as the milking begins. The bells always act as a beacon to the traveler searching for home as the light fades. During the ritual of our evening chores, the greatest curve of the desert sky darkens and a bright planet appears, a signal that it's time to herd the sheep into their pen. In other nations, this planet is known as Venus, the planet of love, but in my country we call it Makal Hidhid, meaning the hiding the lambs. Okay, actually, I think I'm going to have to go, which means I'm not even going to finish this chapter, but that was I'll be back. Okay, bye. Sorry.